celebrate the launch of the Color Quest on Kickstarter, I've gathered my creative friends and pit them against each other. We're going to be battling it out to see who will reign as the triumphant king or queen of the Color Quest. Because art is an adventure and creativity is a competition. How many times have you used alcohol markers, Murray?
One?
That's not to say you're not an experienced artist. You have produced incredible works of art and you have a lot of very interesting ideas and experience with color. How about you, Alicia? You've had a little more experience. You did a lot of the illustration translation from some of these images to help bring the Color Quest together.
I've probably touched an alcohol marker maybe like 10 times in my life, but I'm feeling confident because I got my digital artist skills.
I've done a lot of work with alcohol markers, but I also do a lot of work with just stuff. So I'm more of a multi-medium exhibitionist. That's not.
That's probably not the word.
And Kat is, let's just say alcohol markers are her wheelhouse. Literally you've received a Copic Award, is that correct?
That's true, that is true.
For this. We commissioned Kat to make the covers, so I think these are a pretty clear
You did both of them?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Isn't that insane? So,
I feel confident now.
all right, we're looking for a nice clean fight, so let's be clear about the rules. This is a marker draft. Each participant will select one image from either of the 50-page Color Quest books. No participant can do the same image as another participant. Each participant will take in turns to choose one marker from the special edition 48 set of alcohol markers, carefully chosen and curated by JAZZA. Meaning that from a carefully balanced set of 48 markers, each participant will only have 12, and many of them may not be the ones they expected or wanted. These will be the markers they will be limited to for the shared time limit. Our first artwork, we have 2 hours to complete. That's plenty of time whether you're experienced or learning the ropes of alcohol markers. We have landscape and portrait, there's 50 pieces in each. Take your pick. There's a delightful plastic sheet included to prevent bleed over, but they're 300 GSM pages, so it's going to be pretty hard to get through anyway. We have all been very ambitious.
I picked this one because it's got some little details that I can like lean into, but I like the idea of the space that I can make more details in. Potential for cool lighting.
This is, I have such fond memories of so many of these. This is from like, I believe it was when I did Inktober. It looks cool, and I like zombie looking dudes and swords and fire and death.
So I've decided to pick the character with the most amount of like texture and stuff. Doesn't really matter if it doesn't blend very well.
Makes sense, makes sense.
Strategic.
Good strategy.
This is one of Dave's piece, and I know that'll make him happy.
It's literally Dave's Dungeons and Dragons party. Every single one of these has a story that it's come from, usually video. There's a QR code on all of them to take you to that. So actually you can see where they all came from or how they were made by following the QR code. I think it's time to pick our markers. Murray, would you like to go first?
Should we?
I'm gonna take that one. That one.
Do you know what it does?
No.
I'm gonna go with this guy.
Okay, gotta go with a classic red, yellow.
I have a lot of gold.
And then we just go around until they're all gone. All the yellows? Why have I let this happen?
Is that one?
Sorry.
No, I wanted that one.
Too bad.
Ruined.
Too slow.
It is time to see what each of us can do on our own quest.
Oh my God, stop!
Please, you're embarrassed.
3, 2, 1, go!
Cool. Okay.
At the start of this whole thing, we all thought 2 hours was a long time, and by the end, we all really didn't. The time slipped away like sand in our fingers, but our pieces had to be done.
3, 2, 1.
Even! Okay.
That's down.
Oh my God. All right, let's see how things unfolded.
So, markers. You can blend these apparently, so I'm going to endeavor to see what I can do with that. The markers went down surprisingly easy, and once you got the hang of sort of rubbing the two colors into each other to make them sort of blend over and into each other, this became really quite smooth. However, it did take me a while to learn this, per maybe just slightly over an hour. Overall, I'm really happy with what I managed to finish here, but honestly, there's still a lot of white on here. So my resolution for the next artwork is that there will not be a speck of white. I'm going to get everything colored in.
Now, unfortunately, due to a random post-production disaster, we don't have the audio of us all reacting to Alicia's incredible artwork here. And unfortunately, she's not in here now to re-record it herself. So I'm going to stop distracting you with my apology and excuses and allow you to soak in her amazing first piece. So I chose all the zombie dudes. Start off with some swatching, seeing what combos I could find. And I have to say, the very light yellowy green blended surprisingly well. Not only with like the blue combo that I mucked around with, but after I played around with the skin tone, I thought of doing like a green underlighting for a gaunt, ghostly feel. It's a combo I never would have tried, and I love it. When I got to the fiery step, I realized they're quite different colors. I don't really have anything between pure black and solid red, which is also very loud, and anything between that and a neon orange. So like they're quite big steps to try and blend between, but you know, with a lot of futzing and oversaturating, I think that sort of softens it. And in the end, I think I got a pretty cool like flame vibe behind the whole thing. So I'm pretty happy with how it turned out.
So I usually spend hours and hours and days.
What did you say your average was?
Between 40 to 140 hours. I don't know, at work. To stop myself falling into that lull of like, I've got forever to color this in, I had to like try and fill the page as quickly as possible. So I started out with like all of the base colors and then wanted to move on to the lighting. I was really excited to do the red. Suddenly realized my red was a bit more red than I thought it was going to be. I had some trouble blending. Yes. But anyway, we sort of moved on from that. My thing that I was most excited about was to do the lighting of the gold from the bottom and then like the sort of little bit of backlighting from the red at the top. That's what I concentrated most on, and then realized about the 20 minutes that I had to do the whole dragon.
But you still somehow did.
The entire dragon. But anyway, I'm very happy with it, considering the time.
Fantastic.
This video is obnoxiously brought to you by The Color Quest. I am so excited to be sharing this with you. It's launched on Kickstarter today, which is wild because we've been developing this for a year and a half. I have endeavored to make this the best quality coloring book in existence. Hardcover spiral bound with perforated edges on the 300 GSM blending card paper, which is made to beautifully take alcohol markers. But it will also very happily take pencils and even watercolors without buckling or bleeding through. But just because I really care about peace of mind, we're also including a plastic sheet for you to put behind the coloring pages you're working on to make sure that nothing will ruin the image behind the one you're working on. Beautifully illustrated images from the JAZZA channel, Insert Art, Tabletop Time, and all of the people in this studio who love inventing adventures and stories and characters. There are two 50-page books in the Color Quest, the Landscape and Portrait, both of which combine to 100 handcrafted illustrations. And the full Color Quest bundle comes with a limited edition 48 set of alcohol markers. Kat, who is in this video, consulted with me to pick these colors, and this set of 48 markers is the best set of 48 markers in existence. That is an objective, unbiased opinion. That opinion may be objective or biased. There's stretch goals to add even more value to all of that. Go check it out. All the details are in the Kickstarter, but a huge thank you to me for sponsoring, for making the color. A huge thank you to you for helping make the Color Quest happen. This has been an endeavor with my community over on my vlog channel, and we are so proud of the result. And I know you will love going on this adventure. Go check out the Kickstarter, links in the description. All right, marker's back. We are gonna do this again.
Are we missing a marker?
Excuse you.
Okay, fireworks. Have at it.
Blind.
So let's all talk about what we chose and why.
Dragon.
Enough said.
Dragon.
Dragon.
Okay, fair enough.
This was actually the first commission that I ever did for tabletop tie. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to do something with a background.
That's a great choice, Alicia. Did you give me a frame? I chose this piece. This was produced on Insert Art. I think this was a collab between Insert Art and the JAZZA'S channel, but I really love the visual style and just looks really fun to color in.
I don't know who drew this, but
Yeah, you bloody do. Look.
yeah, I love him. He was my favorite when I drew him in Insert Art, and they get to draw him again.
For an hour, you're gonna have a lot of room to do blending and color stuff because
Yes.
there's not a huge amount of details.
All right.
on
Well, it
what I
depends on
pull.
what markers you get.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Hold on. Whoa.
Excuse you, we're going this way.
Oh, I do, yes.
I was going to interesting tactic.
I was gonna take as well. Thank you.
Why I did that.
What was this one like? Was that like
It's quite brown.
quite...
I might have to
all
go
the
with
light
this
colours.
one.
Oh no, I wanted that one.
Sorry.
I just realised what I have, what I don't have, and what I need.
Cool. All right, let's do it. Round 2, 1 hour on the clock. Let's go. Thank you, but shut up!
30 seconds.
Oh my god!
Mark is down.
Well done, everyone. Now we can actually look at each other's faces.
What have we done?
Oh my god!
No white.
Damn!
No white.
Yeah, man.
All right, let's do this one last time.
All right, so I decided that I wanted to go for a really moody atmosphere, and I wanted like a really bright, vibrant dragon that would be like the light source in my artwork. So I went for this sort of overcast, murky, swampy sky. I added a lot more greens, like dark greens and blues, into the hills, and then I started working on this big-ass golden dragon. Basically started with like the same pearlescent pink that I did the moon with, and then I went into the yellows and oranges.
This is exactly one of those examples of like colors I would never have picked to blend together that are just working so well.
I said last round that I wanted no white left on the page, and I have succeeded in that.
And that's your second marker piece.
Yes.
Like the amount I can already see you have learned and applied is insane.
Immediately, I felt like I had bitten off more than I could chew with this one. I was like, yeah, I can do skin tones. I'm feeling confident now. I think I picked like so many of the light colors. I kind of just forgot to like pick a color for the dress and like the flowers that is actually cohesive and actually works well. I started with skin first. I kind of took inspiration from Kat's dragon from the last one that she did, and I kind of tried to plot in like the rim lighting first. And then that got a little bit too scary, so I kind of just moved on to something else. I knew I wanted like a really nice yellow gradient for like the wheat field and a blue gradient that I realized that I hadn't selected, so I just went for a regular blue with the sky. And then picking like the skin tones and the hair color and the eye color and the dress color was so difficult because I was like, oh yeah, brown for skin tone, brown for hair, brown for eyes, and then I just realized that it was just the same brown.
Yeah.
I like needed like
you did a good
different
job
shades of brown.
differentiating them, and also your lighting, like the cast lighting that you've done is incredible.
The spotlights on top of the hair.
And the way it's
beautiful.
like subtle pink in the cheeks and then the highlights on the top areas of the skin, it's really cool.
Yeah, thanks.
So I decided to do something I don't think I've ever done before, mainly because I didn't have a wash highlight color that I usually rely on for like that final punch of color to tie stuff together. Instead, what I had was this really bold, strong gold, which I decided, you know what, I'm gonna use that as my highlight color, but I sort of reversed engineered it. Where for most pieces I do, I sort of leave space for a color wash and then add the color lighting effects later. In this instance, I added the lighting and shadow effects first and decided to add the color to the piece later. Because at the end of the day, alcohol markers sort of work the same way no matter what order you work in to a degree. And I figured if I do the bold yellow last, it'll be really hard, if not impossible, to sort of softly blend in. But if I do it first, then the later colors I add will sort of dilute it and wash it into itself.
I looked over when you were like 10 minutes in, I was like, he's finished it already.
Yeah.
He's already done like all of the values.
There's like really satisfying like stages, but there's also really ugly stages, which I had to remind myself as I went into the background, because this character really seems like a real, like works in dark cave, and I really wanted to sort of capture that feel. And I did it again, I committed to doing a stupid freaking gradient to black in the background. It was dumb, and but you know, I'm glad I did. Especially with something that stark, you just have to really persist. So with a lot of overmixing and blending to get something of a soft effect for the background, I moved on to cast shadows, which was the next sort of step to try and make it moody. Again, it's like terrifying when you start, and then when you're halfway through and it's working, it's like, okay, all right, this is cool, you know?
And it absolutely paid off. Like,
thank you.
This is one of my
really
favorite pieces of the day.
Oh,
like, it's so cool.
I'm really proud of it, especially because I've never tried this kind of technique.
So I started out with the idea of just wanting to do like the blurry background, and then I never quite got to do it.
I saw you getting distracted with the hair and the
I
cute mouse.
ADHD'd it. I had the blender. That was the problem. So I think
the power
I realized,
in my hand.
Yeah. So I think my first problem was I didn't think through my color palette as I was picking as much. I was like, oh, I'll have some greens and some of these, and then I needed a pink. So I spent ages blending the blender color into the dark pink to make the light pink for all those sections, and that took quite a while. And then I was like, wait, I have the blender, and because I was just gonna lighten all of his. Yeah. So I was gonna lighten all of the dark gray because I again didn't get the light gray in time.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, I can actually make textures with this. So I spent most of the time making textures instead of just lightening it.
Yeah.
And then when I think you looked over and went, I'm gonna be interested to see how you're gonna do the background.
Yeah.
And I went, oh no!
Yeah, because it's like, is she studying? It's like,
So I did a little bit. I could have spent another 3 hours blending backgrounds, but you get the idea.
You had an hour. That looks, it's incredible. And the thing I think is really cool is the way you sort of did contrasting hues for the shadows. So you got sort of like pinks that oppose the greens on the leaf, and like through the hair of the mouse, like it creates this really nice ambience.
Thank you.
So we did this whole thing like a competition. I think that was the hook, and we forgot that we were doing a competition.
The competition was to finish.
With both challenges, it was much less about competing with each other and much more about like finishing it ourselves.
Competing with our own idea of what we started with. Like, I can do that.
Absolutely. That's what a quest is, after all. An adventure. You're not sure how it's going to turn out, but yeah, pretty glad you took the steps on the journey, and and it's about the friends you made along the way.
Oh hell, I had so much fun. I learned so much.
It was honestly, and like I feel like all of us took big risks and just did cool stuff, and that was fun. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for coming here with us. And I also thank all of you for like helping make these projects possible. And
These
you.
are going on the fridge for sure.
Our fridge?
Can we?
Can we?
Oh, yeah.
Yes!
We can do that.
Awesome. This was so much fun. And I'm really glad you guys could join us. And obviously, reminder, go check out the Kickstarter because it is a lot of fun. Even if you're fresh to it, there's stuff you can learn that the markers will actually teach you. And there's all sorts of variety from challenging to much more approachable. Thanks for watching. Bye! Thanks heaps, guys. This is really fun.
Thanks for having me.
No worries at all. Cool.
No.